So I was correct. When the high E ferrule fell out, that they would all fall out. Yes, they did. I think Jay had this problem. So Westcreek, yes. Come on, this is not rocket science, guys. You make guitars. You know about holes and fitting things in. Like here, that should not be so deep, and the ferrule size holes should be a tad smaller than the ferrule to press in, not a tad larger so they all fall out. Now I see here that the wood is a little bit redder in the back than it was up in the pocket. Could be a sandwich of some kind. And also the holes for the strings going up through are a little bit dirty. So I'm just cleaning it out with a 1/8 bit. Although I can see it's a 9/16 hole here. I'm trying to make sure that when I try to get the strings in there, it's not going to catch up on those little burrs. Because it often happens. Maybe I should have got the 9/16 one out. I'll probably just go do that. I'll get the 9/16 out, clean this, and then I'm going to have to glue all these ferrules in. I call the number wrong. It's not 9/16, it's 9/64. But you know what I'm going to do is that I'm not going to put these ferrules in just yet until I buff the back and polish it up with all this stuff out as well. Although I may glue in those larger washers underneath the ferrules here. Yeah, alright, I cleaned it out. Okay. So we're only going to do the flat washers underneath there. Keep them in place since we now have them set for the right height of the ferrule on the outside. Well, I thought it was only fret number 19, but as it turns out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them are not, 7. Several of them are not seated on the edges well. It's not just 19 hanging over the problem. No, it's not. It's not. So I'm going to have to tackle that before I do anything else. One by one, we're going to try to put a little glue, and then we're going to try to put a little pressing, and then we'll see how that goes. Alright, so let's start with the sharp one. But before I do that, I can't do that because I need to get some glue underneath that edge as well. I wonder. Let me check to see how this will work. On the curved section it's bad, but on the flat section I can get a pretty good press, I think. Yeah. Okay. Looks like I'm having some success getting that down. Hopefully it's going to stay in place with the CA glue. I had to go back to the pipette because the opening here is a little bit larger than the pipette. I couldn't exactly control it in the tiny amount that I needed here, but this is definitely going to be a useful bottle for some other operations using CA glue. Okay. I did some banging to see what would go down, and then now I'm going to do the gluing and pressing. I got to do the 22nd fret here. I left that one out because There's not a lot of space for me to grab on the bottom there, but I think I'm going to be able to get it in. Metal and wood. I don't know how long it takes. Putting as much pressure on it as these tiny F-clips can do it. Okay, that seems to have gone down flush. That's good. That's good. All right, let's try it with the last one. Get a little bit of glue underneath the edge there. I'm going to have to sand away the excess that comes up off on the fretboard. Another pain in the ass to get done. There were a few unleveled frets. Not by much, but there are. Okay. Get that at the right angle on the edge there. Get it to hold. Not by much, but there are. So I'm going to give it a quick pass and fix them all up. Then it ought to be sweet. Damn, I made a small scratch there with my ruler. I have to fix that too. Anyway, I'll be back after I get all this stuff done. So I had 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7 in those spots. So they're up to 2,000 and we're about to go to steel wool, but when I do that, okay, I'm going to steel wool those and then we'll show you what the results are. Okay, I am prepping the pickguard with the new components. Oh yeah, and I put some shielding tape on the back of this. Oh, my glasses, there they are. Just gonna start mounting some components to the circuit that I drew for this thing. Orientation. There we go. Should be something like that. We still have to put some wire. Those two across to these two as commons. I wonder I'm going to have a problem with this fitting in the cavity. Let me take a look. Okay, according to that rough measurement, I should not. And I'm just going to bend these lugs down anyway. So that they do not touch the shielding paint. Okay, so I've soldered in the two pots, the switch and the neck pickup. I'm not going to change. I'm leaving it that one for now. And I've shortened the wires to make it a little bit more neat. And next thing will be to get this with the body after I clean up this area. And hopefully those ferrules are glued in. And we'll get to mount this pickup. Oh yeah, I did this. I found in my stash a pickup, and it could be the TFA65, that has copper across the back of the Alnico pickups, all the poles. And I was thinking, that's an interesting idea, because this copper is conductive, and magnetism, if you put a metal plate behind it, it's what's called a keeper, and it generates more magnetism going out the top than the spurious at the bottom. So it kind of puts the field a little bit out that way. So I decided to do it on here. They also have it on the back of this Fleor. There's copper on there. Can you see it? Yeah. The light's a little bit in a different direction. And I'm trying to keep that pick guard as clean as possible. I'll be back.